I'm sorry. I'm not feeling myself, but look. It's Alan. It's sweet Alan. Hi, baby. I love you so much. He's such a sweet love. Oh, you're a big boy, though. Here, let me put you down. You are heavy. You are heavy, Alan. You're heavy. You don't even eat that much. He's just a big boy. Hello, everyone. I'm Dawn. Thank you so much for visiting with me today. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel, The Cutting Board. We do all kinds of things here. We do true crime, SFX makeup, DIY, product reviews, lifestyle vlogs, food content, and most importantly, at least to me, Disney content. So I like to have fun here, so join me. So I have noticed while scrolling through socials the past couple of days, a lot of people are commenting to other creators, you're the one talking about Casey Anthony. You're the one talking about Kaylee's egg donor. You're keeping her relevant. Now here's how I look at it. From where I sit, I don't care if she's on social media. I don't care if she's relevant. I just don't care about that. Whatever. But I think people have the right to do commentary on it. Do commentary on her. Especially people that are members of the true crime community. And especially on someone who is, whether she likes it or not, a public figure. I mean, she was found not guilty. She has the right to do whatever she wants as far as the justice system goes. But I retain the right to cover that and talk about her and be negative and extremely critical of her if I feel I need to be. I'm not saying she should go away, really. You know, maybe I said that previously, but I really don't care. I don't care if she comes or stays or whatever, but whatever. She can do whatever she wants. But in turn, we creators can as well. And by showing her face on social media, I'm sorry, I cut myself off. By showing herself on social media, she has to know that she is going to get critiqued harshly. Very harshly. She has to know that. She needs some money is probably what it is, or wants some, you know. So according to some TikTokers, she who must not be named, but I'm going to name her in this video for ease sake, she said she's going to sue any creators that make videos about her for defamation. To sue someone for defamation, the plaintiff must show that the defendant made a false statement and that statement harmed the plaintiff's reputation. Well, her reputation is shot. It's what it is, and that's her fault. There's really no way to further harm it. And she did that herself. She did enough damage to her reputation on her own. The plaintiff must also show that the statement was false, because she was found not guilty in a court of law is not good enough. That's just not good enough. The statements not guilty and innocent are two entirely different things. But it seems some people don't realize that. I saw a comment, I think it was yesterday, on someone else's video that said not guilty means innocent. Say it with me, or some smart-assy thing like that. It absolutely does not mean that. So, yes, she would literally have to prove that she did not kill Kaylee. And she can't prove that. She can't. So, you know, bring it. You have to prove defamation. You have to prove you didn't unalive Kaylee. You have to prove the statements are untrue. And to do that, you have to prove you didn't kill her. And before folks chime in their thoughts in the comments, again, not guilty is not the same thing as innocent. Not guilty means that the prosecution could not prove beyond a reasonable doubt that a person committed the crime. it doesn't make you innocent. It doesn't make anybody innocent. But in order to prove defamation, you would have to prove that what people are saying about you is untrue. And the incubator can't do that. That cute little not guilty verdict doesn't make someone innocent. It doesn't. It just means that the evidence wasn't strong enough, for a guilty verdict. In a court of law, this is a court of public opinion. And the prosecution was held to an even higher standard of proof because the death penalty was on the table. But that evidence, it is strong enough in the court of public opinion. And the court of public opinion, is brutal. And that's what the egg donor would be dealing with. Now, I have talked about this case at length in the past, but we'll go over a few key points, and then later in the video, we're going to go over a lot more. 2-year-old Kaylee was she 2 or 3? But she was not reported missing until July 15th, 2008, 1 full month since the last time her mother saw her. And Kaylee's mom is not the one that reported her missing. It was Cindy Anthony, Kaylee's grandmother. Casey didn't report it at all. Searches of Casey's cell phone, computer, and vehicle resulted in discovering internet searches for things like chloroform, self-defense, and neck breaking, as well as traces of chloroform and human decomposition in the trunk of her car. Casey completely made up a fake person as the individual that was taking care of Kaylee, Zanny the nanny, which it doesn't seem like it has occurred to anybody that anybody has ever made the connection that Zanny was probably a joke for Xanax or a reasonable facsimile. Cindy Anthony told 911 operators that Casey's car smelled like a dead body was in it. Casey also lied about working at Universal. There was that. She has a propensity for dishonesty. The egg donor claimed, that's Casey, to have held Kaylee's wet, limp body on June 16, 2008, but also claimed later that she believed Kaylee was still alive until her remains were found on December 11th, 2008. Casey also said the decomposition in her trunk, that smell was a dead squirrel, but in a later interview, she said it was garbage and bad pizza. And please mention other things that I may have left out in the comments. Kindly don't come at me. It's rude and it's not necessary. So let's read what this terrible woman wrote as a warning for all of us. We've been warned. For everyone speaking good, bad, or otherwise, heed your words and make sure you are saying something of substance. By the way, she used very poor grammar in that first sentence. Just wanted to point that out. Here's the law in Florida about threats, libel, and slander, etc. Also more bad grammar, by the way. You don't have to be a Florida resident to be charged. Jurisdiction is where the crime was committed, usually. If it's over the internet and you're saying something hateful, slander, libel, threatening, bullying, etc. Oh, she's been working in the legal system. I'm cutting off for a minute. She's been working in the legal system for 14 years, but doesn't know simple grammar. Lawyers have to take a lot of writing courses. I know paralegals do. And I know she never said she was a lawyer, but still, she should know how to write. Even in the role of a legal secretary, legal assistant, or paralegal. Okay, let me get back to it. The recipient party can request a jurisdiction be in the state where they live, not the state where you committed the act. The internet is not a protected place. My next thread, I will be posting the statute for every one of our 50 states. And this girl does not know how to use commas. It's making me crazy. Even for those of you saying these things about me, I am still going to continue to do what I said I was going to do, which is advise you of your rights and the law. No, thank you. It is public record. Well, we'll find it ourselves then. And if necessary, I will remind you that this is not legal advice, purely public information. You need to educate yourselves before you implicate yourselves. I would say stop the bullshit, but I think that's asking a little too much. Okay, that was it. I'm sorry I cut it up so much with my own little commentary. But, you know, she's the one with the BS. She's the one coming forward with a bunch of BS like she's a little innocent mommy that's never done anything wrong, like she didn't hurt her baby girl, when everyone with a quarter of a functioning brain knows she did. And again, to sue anybody for defamation, she would have to prove not that she was found not guilty, but that she did not do the things that people are saying she did. She would have to prove them false. Just look at all that evidence, no matter how circumstantial, and tell me she didn't do that to Kaylee. And so this very poorly written thread of sorts is as big of a joke as she is. This thing kills her daughter, gets to walk away from any accountability, and then tries to throw her weight around on social media like she's some kind of badass, like she's somebody that matters. She is the most hated woman in the world, probably, and that's not going to change. So if she wants to threaten people, you know, with lawsuits, her reputation was ruined by herself. She did that. All those lies she told to cover up the fact that she'd rather party than take care of her little girl, she's scum. She is scum. Prove me wrong. Prove it isn't true. So let's go over these facts again. I went over a few just earlier, not that long ago, in this video, and previously in a full video about this case, but let's just go through. And I'm going to use Casey's name because it will just make following everything easier, but it is rotten wine in my mouth to say her name. Fact. On July 15th, 2008, Cindy Anthony, Kaylee's grandmother, called 911 to report Casey for stealing a car and money. In another 911 call that same day, Cindy shared with the 911 operator that she learned from her daughter that Kaylee was kidnapped. In addition to that, Cindy reported that Casey's car smelled like there's been a dead body in it. Fact. Casey reported that the last time she saw Kaylee was when she was dropping her off at the nanny on June 8th, 2008. The name she provided for the nanny was Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez. Casey led the investigators to the alleged apartment where Zenaida was staying, but police discovered the apartment had been vacant for months, several months. Fact. Casey also told the police that she was working for Universal Studios. As the investigation went on, it was quickly discovered that Casey had been employed by Universal 2 years prior, but had not been there in a long time. Fact, the GCMS technician, that's gas chromatography mass spectrometer technician, was able to isolate compounds of decomposition, 67% of which were associated with human decomposition. And there was also found excessive levels of chloroform, and that was in the trunk of Casey's car. Fact, a stained paper towel was found with a large amount of fly pupa, and it was sent for analysis. The cause of the stain was characteristic of adipose profile, which is also known as grave wax. It's the breakdown of fat by water and oxygen deprived environment. It's what's the word for it? It's like there's a word for it. I learned about this in a science class. It's adipose. It's I can't explain it, but it's when the body, a dead body, gets squishy and kind of starts putrefying and liquefying. Fact, Megacillia scalaris, Diptera, and Phoridae, insects that feed on dead bodies, were also found in the trunk of Casey's car. Fact, when Casey's car was found abandoned in Orlando, George and Cindy were notified that the car had been towed and impounded. George went to get the car, and he and the tow yard manager noticed a foul, strong smell coming from the trunk. And later they both said that it was the odor, they believed the odor to be human decomposition. And remember, George is a former police officer and detective. He would probably know what human decomposition smelled like. Fact, human hair found in Casey's vehicle couldn't be directly linked to Caylee. However, mitochondrial DNA was used to identify the hair as belonging to a female member of the Anthony family, and the root band on the hair was consistent with that of a decomposing body. And she says she sleeps good at night. She sleeps like a baby. She sleeps great at night because she never cared about her child. She sleeps good at night because all she cares about or cared about is herself, and I'm sure it's still the same. Strangers who have never met Caylee care more about that little girl than that woman ever did. So to hell with her. To hell with her and her threats. She wanted to party and get a tattoo and pee in the parking lot and drink, and a toddler was cramping her style. Anyway, that's all for this video. I'm going to go now, but I gotta lay down or something. But thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to everyone later. Bye-bye.